What up, y'all? DCFAYGOGUY. Today we are going to be taking a look at the Rydas. That's literally the only kind of title, anything like that, that we have for this album, this project, I guess you could say. I'm curious though if they originally were planning to call it Eastside Rydas, just because there are two times that is mentioned.
Eastside Rydas, remember the name. I'm an Eastside Ryder.
So I don't know if maybe that was the idea. They just scrapped it. Let's just call it the Rydas. I don't know. I don't fully fucking know. But we're going to jump right in, take a look at this. A lot of people are not happy that this project exists. That being said, if you're not, hit the dislike, go about your day. For everybody else that actually enjoyed it and want to hear what I have to say, let's do it. Jump right in. There's the front. Like I said, it just says the Rydas. There's no album title. Honestly, the one thing about this I don't like is there was no album title. It was just the Rydas. I actually gave it a name. We'll go into that when we get into the inside. Yeah, guess what? I did not go into it later in my review. I fucking went on a tangent. But I named it The Saga Continues because the intro has the slash and then says The Saga Continues. So I took that and gave that and made that the name of the album. The Rydas, The Saga Continues. I'm going to go ahead and flip it over to the back. Show you the back because the track list is on the inside. They did it a little differently. They stuck to the formula here. The copy wrong is here. Obviously, Joe and Joey Records is not. I've seen somebody crack jokes that, oh, it should be Paul and Jamie Records. But, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what to say about that. To me, they stuck to the formula. Copy wrong. The beats that they used on this were, I mean, they were altered. I went and, thanks to Coma Black, there is a list of what beats they used. But I went and listened to the original beats, and yes, there is some tweaks that were made to it. Almost a remix, if you will, or a remaster of the beats to make them a little bit differently. But in my eyes, they still used other beats, so they stuck to the Ryda formula. They slapped copy wrong on here. There's not an MNE logo anywhere on this thing at all. It just says the Rydas on the front, on the sides, and then copy wrong on the back. And you do have the Rydas right in here in this little background. So, I mean, that's literally like all you really got on here. You open it up, there's pretty much the same thing as the back. I'm right there on that. The CD is black, says the Rydas, and we pop it off to this like flyer on a telephone pole with the track list, which the track list is Ryda Intro, The Saga Continues.
Yeah, motherfucking Rydas in this bitch. I'm Lil Shank, motherfucker. We got cell block, big stairs.
I ain't calling you gangsta.
Where the bitches let all our mouth go, turn them all into a witness. They call our cops phone for we strictly give them the business and close shop.
Fucking Rydas in here.
Anybody on the other side talk shit, wanna ride, y'all are getting laid on your backs.
Baby slug got this bitch on.
Y'all crew ain't nothing.
Part motherfuckers ain't down with this. Only real riders up in this bitch, let them know.
Yeah, slug. I'm the motherfucking dope man. I got money off the pop like a coke.
We got mad slugs.
We got mad slugs for all of y'all.
First shot miss, second shot hit, third shot rip. Spin and turn blocks, no return shots, no bird box.
100% in my DNA.
Bitch up cause you had to explain it. Nah, shit'll never ever be the same. Fuck you, this was never a game. Real riders never offer the fame. More than this shit than a drum and a train. 100% in my DNA.
We violent.
No phone call the next day, no drama, homie. Sorry about your baby mama.
Addicted to the screams. You hear them sirens. Killers busting shots and wildin'. Body
How a Ryda ride.
smoking on a missile. Getting high to spaceships. You know how a rider ride. Bitch, I'm always strapped up. Unload, reload, and leave your whole crew clapped. You know how a rider ride.
Put that on everything.
I'm about my change and I won't change. And I put that on everything.
Gun on my side, gotta hide cause the law want my crew dead. Ain't
Run.
Come up off that chain, come up off that money, come up off that life,
Gully. All I got is a 38 and a Scully. Turn it to a ski mask. I'm
Dump.
in the night we go, bump, bump. With the riders and we dump, dump.
I'ma be a rider.
Of course you know I ride. Riders on the move and we the truth. Keep it trill until a nigga chucks the deuce. I'ma be a rider. You can ride with me. I'ma ride for you.
So, like I said, Coma Black, I'm gonna flash it up here real quick for you guys. He went through, and there's a couple that he didn't know. I showed the person who commented, but I blacked their name out, who had said that 100% in My DNA is a Rick Ross song. I'm totally blanking on the name of it now. I think it was something about money. I don't fucking remember. I don't listen to Rick Ross. So that's basically, you can go listen to the beats, the original beats yourself as well, and you can hear that there is some tweaking to the beats, but all in all, they still more or less jacked beats. I mean, I honestly wholeheartedly don't think the other Ryder albums were fully unquote jacked beats. I don't fully believe that, because they would have ran into some kind of a fucking copyright lawsuit of some kind for as long as Psychopathic Rydas has been around. So to me, this project was the Rydas doing what the Rydas do. And I know so many people were mad that Twisted did this or that Eminem did this, but this is the Rydas. If you go completely by the gimmick, the Rydas is like separate people. You know, that's the whole gimmick. That's the whole concept. Jacking beats. Nobody knows who the Rydas is. Every time an album comes out, man, it appears on the desk with a little note. And that's really the same thing that Twisted did here. I went and seen on Twitter where they had said the same thing. So it literally is everything the Rydas did. And I know that pisses so many people off, but that's what the Riders were. That's what the Psychopathic Riders were. They were fucking thugs. They stole fucking beats. They didn't give a fuck. And to me, this carries that on with the Riders that are no longer a part of Psychopathic. And it's something that can carry on, I think, if the Psychopathic Rydas was to come out with projects. If Light and Ouija was to ever come out and do the Little Rydas, I think that is something they should have done. And honestly, I think if they still plan on doing that project, which I seriously doubt that they do, I would love to see DJ Clay jump on that, because in my eyes, the three of them are like the young juggalos that grew up and started making music with ICP and shit. So I think that's more fitting, and really it should have been the same way with Young Wicked, but obviously the shit that happened between the camps fucking happened. So many people are pissed that this happened, but to me, this is the project I'd rather see than them come out with some kind of a Lotus of some kind, because this is Rydas. This was the concept. They were thugs. They didn't give a fuck, and they stole shit. They jacked your fucking beats. Who gives a fuck? Fuck you. You know, I'm blasting your fucking face. That was the Rydas, and it's continued on. Obviously, not everybody that we know from Psychopathic Rydas is part of this project. So, I mean, I guess that's where so many people are upset. It's like, it's not Rydas, there's not Psychopathic Rydas. And to an extent, I would understand that, but you got to understand that this tells a little bit of a story to what happened, you know? What happened with the Rydas. And I fuck with it. I liked it. I enjoyed this album. Really the only song on here I didn't like. I've rambled about the actual fucking bullshit everybody's spewing about this project. Really the only song on here I did not like was Run. It's probably the only one that I have the most urge to skip. Maybe a little bit of Y'all Crew Ain't Nothing. Just a little bit. My standout tracks. Let's talk about my standout tracks. Absolutely love fucking Rydas in here. Absolutely love We Violent. That is... It's not only an Ice Cube song, but it was also the Vanilla Ice, ICP, and I forget who else was on that track. But Insane Killers, they used that beat for Insane Killers as well. And actually in that, Lil Slug, who kind of sounds like Young Wicked, actually gave a throwback to Insane Killers with a line that he did in there. Icky, icky, aya.
I got the sticky licking shots off, get wicked when I pop off. Your dirty ass bitch got you itchy in your yaya.
That was a throwback to Insane Killers, not the Ice Cube track, to my knowledge. I mean, I went and listened to the Ice Cube song, and I don't remember hearing that in there. That was an Insane Killers thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm known to just spew what I know, and people come correct me, which I enjoy being corrected. I don't want to say shit and look like a fucking fool. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure that was a callback to Insane Killers, not Natural Born Killers. So, I'm gonna be a rider. I liked Dump Dump. I liked. Put That on Everything is probably my standout track. That I liked the beat. I liked everybody's flow. And I love the way that I'ma Be a Ryda. It wrapped up with a verse from Lil Shank showing Ryda love. He shouts out all the other members of the Rydas, the psychopathic Rydas that are not on this project.
A rider to the dirt nap, like sawed off Converse, yes, and even twin gats, like full clip and bullet. I hope they doing good. I hope they start new cliques in their own hood, spreading rider love.
And then later in the same verse, he then shouts out the Rydas that are here.
Dump a clip and put it down like a rider does, like Cell Block, Young Dirt, and Vovo too. All my new riders in this bitch, I ain't forgot you.
So I mean, what Lil Shank did in that is he showed love to every rider that's ever been, psychopathic or not. And that to me was what really kind of completes the story here of this is telling the story of this is what happened to the Rydas who left the psychopathic Rydas. This is where they're at. This is what they're doing. They started a new crew. I hope these guys are doing good and starting their own crew, which they should. EP, just drop something, psychopathic Rydas. I think it's needed now. It's absolutely needed now. And I'm not mad about this project. I'm glad they did this than Lotus. So a lot of people are super duper fucking pissed off at it. They feel like this was them stealing that idea from Psychopathic or from Violent J or from ICP, but that's the fucking thing, man. That was the Rydas. They jacked shit. They didn't give a fuck. So that's why that's why this is the best project that they could have stolen was Rydas. So that's everything that I gotta fucking say about it. I know so many people disagree with me, but I'm not gonna try to make anybody understand. I'm saying my piece. That's it. If you don't fucking agree, you're never gonna agree. You're gonna feel the way you feel because that's just how we fucking feel about the situation. So love it or hate it, I thought it was a great fucking album. It was a great project to come out. Happy to see that some of the Rydas are still gonna do some shit. I'd love to see the Psychopathic Rydas come out and do some shit as well, but probably never gonna happen. I'd love to see the Lil Rydas actually do the shit that they said they were gonna do, and I'd like to see Twin Gats even release the last Ryda that he was talking about putting out a couple years ago. You know what I mean? This is stuff I think people have been waiting for. They've been waiting for some Rydas, and here is some Rydas, just simply called the Rydas. But all in all, I liked it all the way through. I can listen to it. There are the couple songs that I feel like I want to skip, but it's still fresh right now, so I'm able to listen to them, no problem. It's going to join the ranks of the other Psychopathic Ryda albums I don't listen to very often because I don't listen to a lot of gangster rap. But I thought it was a great project. You may disagree. Tell me what you think. People are going to anyway. I've gotten so many comments already. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next time.